bias, but we are at the ripe age of 14 to 25.
X
No.
and Fallout
The
Boy.
difference. I was trying to be a princess looking in the mirror. Just close my door, love. Good night and God bless. All right, see you tomorrow. So lovely chatting with you.
I've got some problems, Lindsay.
Somewhere, and her response was, well, do you have the internet?
Go,
Yeah.
no, and you're like,
Yeah, you almost get excited because it's like, oh, are we
me
best
too,
friends?
me too.
No.
Hello and welcome to today's episode of Crying in the DM, sponsored by Joe the Juice. That was a total lie, but I would love a sponsorship, and if there are any going, feel free to DM me. Today's episode of Crying in the DMs, I am joined by Aisha, model, actress, and when she's not on the runway, she's on the fucking spectrum. Aisha, it's lovely to have you in the studio today.
It's so nice to be here.
We're gonna break some boundaries. We're gonna break some common misconceptions today, I think, because one thing that is huge at the minute, given the rise in Love on the Spectrum being such a brilliant program, right, is that finding love on the spectrum is hard as fuck.
Yes.
Is it still difficult, even though you're quite literally a model?
I mean, I'm not exactly Kendall Jenner, but I mean, yeah, it's still hard. I think the controversy with calling yourself a model, if you know you are just an influencer, is, but I am signed. I'm not just trying to be one. But it is a little bit difficult, yeah, because it's like love and hate relationship between social media and real life.
Yeah.
And I feel like I catfish myself a lot.
Catfish yourself a lot? Yeah. Oh, we're coming in hot straight away.
Yeah, I do. I feel like I catfish myself a lot. If you would have seen me like 2 hours ago coming out to Shredfast, complete different person.
Just record, we had this conversation off the cameras too. I think Aisha coming out of Shredfast probably looks like me coming out of a modelling shoot. So but we're fine with it. We're absolutely fine. No, so, I mean, it's important today that we break some misconceptions, because when people see social media models and people that are signed like yourself as well, I mean, it's difficult whether you're just a social media, self-imposed model, or you're signed to an agency and you're doing modelling shoots across the world.
Yeah. When
you're doing that alongside being on the spectrum, it's like having two different personalities, isn't it? And you're already masking in one of them.
Yeah, it's like it wasn't me, it was Patricia.
Yeah.
Like, it literally is like you are living a double life almost, sometimes a quadruple life. 1 minute you have to mask because you're in front of a studio set and you've got to look a certain way and be a certain way, and that's not really you.
No.
And then you come home and you stare at a wall for an hour to decompress. And chew the inside of your lips until you feel stimulated again.
Yeah, I know that one, yeah.
Yeah. And then everyday life, I work in a surgical clinic for corrective surgery.
Yeah.
So when I'm there and I'm in my scrubs, again, that's a completely different personality, really. Maybe I've got borderline personality.
We are not diagnosing on the show. We are not doing that.
But yeah, when I'm there, it is also a different mask that you put on, because you've got to conduct yourself in a very different way to what you do within the creative industry.
It's masking on top of masking on top of masking,
yeah,
isn't it?
massively.
It literally becomes one massive masking tape.
Yeah, I think I would be able to walk into 5 different rooms and conduct myself in 5 different ways depending on who was in each room. And feel like I've stimulated them in a conversation, but I'd come away feeling like absolutely exhausted and I'd need to book a holiday somewhere for a week.
Totally deflated.
Yeah. It's
like that though, isn't it? So people sort of go, oh, well, this person's big on social media, they must be confident, Yeah. This person's well known, this person's, presenting themselves in a really out there manner. Yeah. They must be so confident, they must have it together, and it couldn't be further from the truth.
Oh, massively. I think if you look at my Instagram, it's contradictive in its own sense, really. I've put myself out there to have an Instagram page. Clearly it looks like I'm trying to push it, but do I push it enough? Probably not, because it's a love-hate relationship. 1 minute I feel like I have to post, and then the next minute I really don't want to do the influencing side. No. I just want to be introverted and be my little weird self. And then on the other side, a lot of influencers now are being signed, and that's where a lot more modelling jobs are coming into their world.
I have to keep batting them off, mate.
Yeah, I completely understand why. Yeah, absolutely.
Honestly, the other day, I actually did get an email asking if I wanted to model for this lingerie company.
Love this. Oh, which one? There's a lot of jog ones out
Fucking
there.
say, can
Oh
I?
yeah, of course. Okay.
I'll tell you afterwards. And I was like, really? Really? You want me to wear some knickers on the internet? What gave you the idea that I am willing to wear my knickers on the internet?
Yeah. I think talking about that really, a lot of young girls I've noticed come into the modelling industry, you know, and go straight into lingerie, and that's okay if that's what you want to do. It really is. Like, there's no judgment from me, having been someone who came into the e-commerce world and probably didn't have a lot of enough boundaries or protection there. I just wouldn't do it again.
Do you think lingerie modelling then is like the entry-level drug for models on the internet?
I think it's a quick way, really. You know, there's a lot of young girls who have incredible bodies, and I think there just needs to be a little bit more protection out there for young girls who are doing test shoots with certain photographers who, you know, can see that they're not signed, and, you know, they've just been allowed to go out there because their parents believe in them. And I used to be that young girl, and I've come across some really questionable people, and thankfully, you know, I was able to get signed, and I've now got that protection from my agent. But when I was younger, from 16 to 23, wow, I wish I could go back and just like fod myself. Tell me to just like calm down, my time will come. Don't go and do those shoots. Don't go and be with crazy weird photographers. Yeah.
What's the weirdest situation you were in when you were younger? You don't have to give names unless you want to.
No, absolutely not. I'd probably say when I first got into the industry, I think my little brother would laugh at the story, but I won't tell you the full details.
No, you're all right. Go on. Why not? Come
on. So my parents were against me modelling because, of course, you know, they just weren't quite sure of how to get into it, and you know, whether I was going to be protected or exploited, etc.
Yeah.
So I used to sneak to shoots and say that I was going to my friends, and because that's the thing though, isn't it? Parents give you boundaries, and as a teenager you think that you know better, and you rebel, and wow. But yeah, to answer your question, I went to a studio, and it was in Manchester, and the photographer straight away showed signs of kind of being just a little bit inappropriate. Thankfully, nothing happened untoward, really, but he didn't go out the room when I was getting changed, so I had to hide behind like this makeshift exit door that was open, so that I had some privacy. And
wow.
When he did say he was going out, thankfully I looked around the door, and he'd just locked the door, as if he opened it and locked it as if he'd left the room. So if I then come out and if I was in my underwear, or, you know, he would have seen. But thankfully I was smart enough to look around the door.
What a creepy cunt.
Yeah, that was no thank you, never again. From there is when I spoke to my mum, and I was like, so I kind of did something, please don't shout at me. I did sneak to a shoot. Didn't actually go ahead with doing the shoot because he was really weird, and please can you come and pick me up? And she was like, yeah, you're grounded for 2 months.
I mean, grounded but not murdered. I'd say that was a win.
Yeah, exactly.
It's giving Lovely Bones, isn't it?
Yeah, but then she came to agents with me, castings with me.
Go on, Mum.
Yeah. I had her travelling everywhere. Like,
that's what mums do.
In like a little Nissan Micra. She's 5'4" and I'm nearly 6 foot, so you can imagine I was like folding into the car. But we've come a long way since then, me and Arlen. So yeah.
It is worrying though, isn't it? When you look and you think there are so many photographers that seem to only be photographers of young, attractive women.
Yeah.
And you think that's a great niche to have. But why is that your niche, 55-year-old man?
Yeah. I just think there's a lot of questionable people in the industry. I mean, I don't know if you're aware, but there's certain companies who will tell you that you're coming for a casting, give you the whole photo shoot experience, do your hair and makeup, and then say, okay, you've now got to pay X amount for your portfolio, and we'll send you to agents. They're trying to be the middleman. You do not need to have one of these shoots. You go direct to an agency. You go in your casting outfit, which would just be, you know, a vest top and pants of some sort.
Yeah.
Heels, really natural makeup, if any. Natural hair, not like me today. And yeah, you'll do a walk, they'll take some Polaroids of you, and if they like you, they'll sign you, and if they don't, on to the next agent, because there'll be someone that does.
Next.
You know, but there's people that go, I really believe in, you know, my little Lucy, and I'm gonna take her, and they pay 300 to 500, sometimes £1,000 for this portfolio. That is not what agents
totally
look for.
Unnecessary. Yeah,
and it's just exploiting them. It's completely exploiting them. Yeah.
It's like having a publisher for a book in a way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Certain publishers will they want your identity, they want your money, but they don't necessarily want your book.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you believe in your...
Sounds like a man.
No fucking comment. No fucking comment. No fucking comment.
Sounds like men in today's world. They don't really want you, but they pretend they do.
Yeah, well, that's it, isn't it? We'll get on to that in a sec, because that is important, you know. That you can be sold a dream in any aspect of the world, right?
How long have you got?
But it's like when people go, oh, well, like what's your Love on the Spectrum, right?
Yeah.
Back to that, right? Love on the Spectrum, phenomenal programme.
Amazing programme.
It doesn't focus on the high functioning autism.
No.
Right? Because, you know, there's quite a fair bit of it is entertainment value, isn't it, with shows like that. They want to show, and it is beautiful. It is gorgeous, and it's really heartwarming.
Yeah,
but,
it's cute.
You know, they don't show you the high functioning autism.
No.
Where day to day you can look after yourself, you can run a house, you can drive a car, you can get jobs, you could even be very successful, incredibly successful, in fact.
Yeah.
But if your sock is on wrong, you can hear the room in colour.
Yes.
You know, and if somebody, for example, puts food in front of you that doesn't smell how you think it's supposed to smell, you can't speak.
No.
Or if you do speak, you're going right? And
I feel like you've been watching me.
No, and one thing I wanted to bring up with you. So, you know, Love on the Spectrum, beautiful programme, but reality is quite different. And there's a trend at the minute. Don't know if you know about it. I do, because I've had loads of DMs about it. People, men, putting in their bios on dating sites, I like them with a bit of tism.
I'm so sorry.
Why is autism a fucking fetish now? You've fetishised everything
I've never
else.
Seen that.
Yeah, like them with a
never
bit of
seen
tism.
that.
Sometimes they whack a winky face on the end of it as well, really to entice you.
Stop it. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it's happening all over the Hinges, the Bumbles, the Tinders.
No.
Like them with a bit of tism. Do ya?
No.
Do you like them with a bit of tism? You wait till you come in and I've had a fucking rush of energy at 10 a.m. and got everything out the wardrobe and everything out the drawers, and now at 1 p.m. I've hit a wall and I'm laying it.
Yeah.
Do you like them with a bit of tism there? I like them with a bit of tism, right?
You found like your year 9 tiara, your sports socks. You found a pair of wings from when you were 5.
You're wearing it all.
Yeah, and you're looking through a catalogue of pictures that your mum's had for 20 years.
Now you're crying about your ex when you were 14. You're listening to
I
Broken
found
Strings.
A diary. I found a diary
Fuck
in my
off.
last year.
Why did you bring it?
Yeah. Oh, never. That person does not deserve the airtime. Never.
I tidied a drawer a few weeks ago. Right? I tidied a drawer, and it was like the shit drawer. You know, you got the drawer of shit that you just...
Yeah, I've got 4 of them. I've got 4 of them, for each one for the last 4 years.
Love that.
Yeah.
Well, I had my specific shit drawer, right? And I had like, well, I've got dirty stuff in there. I've got like the umbilical cord from my son Robbie, and it's like next to a diary, which like that I just tried to turn into an autobiography at like 18.
Sure
like anyone.
Sure, you're not doing magic? Like a diary and umbilical
I rebuke
cord?
that in the name of Jesus. I rebuke that strongly in the name of Jesus. No, it's not witchcraft. I'm just a bit of a hoarder. I mean, like Mrs. Trebus. So I've got all sorts of pointless shit in this drawer, right? Can't believe I'm going to say this on a fucking podcast, right?
Go on.
And I found a book, right, a scrapbook that I had from when I was like, let's actually not say, because otherwise the person will know who they are.
Oh, you've got to say, go on.
I can't say how old I was, otherwise it's totally going to give away who's
roughly in
between 14 and 25.
Okay. I was 10 people in that time span. So
exactly.
10
I
different
can't narrow it
versions.
down further, or they'll know, right?
No.
So I found this book that I'd created, shall we say, right? And I had a condom wrapper stuck to one of the pages. Yeah, right.
Okay.
Right. Dirty, right? I had a plaster stuck to one of the pages, right? A plaster, right? I had a bit of
You've got to say it now. Nothing's worse than what you've said.
Fuck's sake. No, it is. You know when you used to undo pencil sharpeners to get the razor out of them? You weren't that kind of autistic.
No.
I was anyway. So I used to undo the pencil sharpeners to get the razor out of them to cut myself when I was like 14. I had that stuck to it as well.
Do you want a hug?
No, I'm all right now.
Okay.
No, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine now.
Sure.
I'm all right.
Okay.
Later. I don't do personal touch. Right? And it was all stuck in this book. I was like, why the fuck have I kept this? Right? But I tried to write it as an autobiography at this ripe age of between 14 and 25.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
To be like, love doesn't hurt if you do it correctly. And I'd written myself a whole obviously I'm on the spectrum, so it lasted about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Probably about 5 weeks before I got bored of it, stopped doing it, went on to the next hyperfixation.
Yes,
So I had
yes.
1/18 of an inspirational diary written with a condom wrapper, right? And a razor and other fucking shit stuck to it left, right and centre.
Wow.
Right? Including a Tutti Frutti wrapper. You know the old chewing gums?
Yeah.
Right?
Do you remember Hubba Bubba?
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Hubba Bubba, right? And I tried to write something that I could look back on later and inspire women with. You know what the last page said?
Go on.
I will not finger him.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Right, with no other context. Like,
Oh, you've got me ugly laughing. You got me laughing like Pat Butcher.
you know what you mean? What the fuck were you doing, Sarah, between the ages of 14 and 25?
Yeah, what was you doing between the age of 14
What the
and
fuck
25?
were you doing, right?
What was she doing?
And then I've cut a little bit of my lever's top as well. A bit of my lever's top's in it, but the bit that he wrote on, shit, that might give it away.
There was no... I mean...
Oh, bollocks.
There was no point in me having a leavers top because I left school before.
No point in me having a lever's top. I fucking tuck it
before I
off after
left.
night to entice people. I had people sign it, and then I was like, do you want to see tits?
Stop it! No.
Wish I
See,
was
that's
joking.
the thing with just talking about levers and stuff. With me, when I was in school, my body matured a lot quicker than my mind. As much as we are definitely more intelligent than the... I'm sorry, it sounds so biased, but we are at the ripe age of 14 to 25. But when we're in school on the spectrum, like, it's almost like we're able to not necessarily diagnose other people, but we're able to see their
We can analyse them,
characteristics
we can
and
assess them,
analyse them, and we're not quite sure what we're analysing.
Whereas they're not analysing, they're just surviving.
Yeah, like, we can put them into categories of certain people.
So I think it's sad how we can do that quicker because women are more at threat, which is why they do, over time, through survival of the fittest, we have learnt and grown to be more analytical younger because we are under threat more.
Yeah, definitely. And I think just that in itself, in that entirety of is a lot to deal with when you're a teenager.
Yeah.
So when you are talking about love on the spectrum, when you are having male attention and you're not quite sure what to do with it because mentally you're a child, but your body doesn't look like a child, and you're able to analyse people a lot more than the average 21 to 25-year-old, and you're only 17, it's like... there needs to be more
and they
education
compliment
around it.
They
like
compliment it. They go, you're so mature for your age. And you're like, yeah, now.
Yeah. Whilst I was taking my mum's Elizabeth Arden makeup.
Yeah. I'm fucking traumatised and I've robbed £5 out of my nan's box.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be in this pub.
Yeah. It just needs to be more education around it, and kids need more help. I was one of them. I needed more help at that age, and I didn't even know I was on the spectrum. I only got diagnosed in January this year, so I was on the waiting list for 10 years. And they said it was down to hormones, it was down to endometriosis. All of this stuff, like, are you depressed?
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
And yeah. Remember the back of the TVs used to be massive, just banging at the back.
Yeah.
But yeah, it finally got tested, and not
You
only are you
should
on the
laugh, should you?
spectrum,
They're
but you're
fucking
high
ridiculous.
on the spectrum.
Yeah.
It's been a journey to be diagnosed at 30, turning 31.
Why was
wild.
it important to get diagnosed for you?
It wasn't really important for me to be diagnosed. It was just more important for me to understand why I was so strange, because that's how I felt like I was. That's how I used to compare myself to other girls. Like, when you're on set and girls know how to conduct them, or young women know how to conduct themselves in a certain way, they know how to play the industry, not in a bad way, but they know how to work it. They know how to be in the influencer.
And you're sat there going, the lights are too bright.
Yeah,
the lights are very loud.
Yeah. 15 conversations in my brain. Like, you'll probably notice I can't stick to one subject. I'll start a conversation and finish it with something completely random.
I haven't noticed because I am doing the same thing.
Yeah. So good luck if you're following along so far.
Good luck with the editing.
Yeah, it's just, for me, it was more important for me to understand myself. My mum started to notice things more and more as I got older, rather than when I was younger. When I was younger, she had a lot of structure for me. It was just me and her. You know, for
big up Linz, man.
She was amazing. I mean, as a teenager, I wasn't her biggest fan. Do you know what I mean? But when I turned 24, loved her again. Realised that she knew exactly what she was talking about. Had I have listened for the past 10 years up until that age, probably would have got there a bit sooner. But, you know, she started to notice things like when I was coming home, I wanted to just have me time, but me time would end up being 48 hours of silence or listening to the same song on repeat. Not where I liked the song, where it was to the point of, aren't you sick of this? Like, it's been playing on repeat for 48 hours.
We've been listening to this for a week now,
As much
Aisha.
as I love Beyonce, my mum got to a point where she, like, do you remember those iPods, like Apple iPod touches? Yeah, she took it off me and threw it because she was sick of me playing the same songs. She was like, no.
You shouldn't used to sing them, mate.
No.
I play it and sing it at the same time.
Same.
My mum would come in and be like, change the song.
Yeah, Mulan, that Reflection song.
I can't relate, mate. Mine was Skrillex.
No.
And Fall Out
The
Boy.
difference. I was trying to be a princess looking in the mirror of who was this girl I see, and my mum would be listening thinking it was lovely. It got to the 48th hour and she'd be like smashing things up so that I didn't listen to her anymore.
See, mine was everything to riot.
Yeah, you're listening to things in her fashion. I just wanted to be a princess and have Prince Charming come and get me. Do you know what I mean?
So I wanted to murder Prince Charming.
No, I was always...
But shag him first.
See, that's another thing. This is probably not great for me to touch on, but
no, you're all good.
With the journey that I'm on at the minute, a more modest journey. For me, like with that whole intimacy and like being close to someone and all the rest of it, you don't realise that you require different things. It's not just about someone trying to, you know, get into you. It's mentally needing to be stimulated. And
I only learnt recently we're not meant to talk to our partner about everything we're thinking.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
What the fuck?
My mum used to tell me, Aisha, sorry, Lindsay, I shouldn't say this, but she meant it in the best way. You don't need to tell everyone your whole life story.
Yeah, what the
fuck?
fuck?
I'd be like, but how do they know who I am then? Like,
how do I explain them? How do I make them my friend if they don't know everything?
Yeah, like my older brother, I used to think he was really, really cool, and he's 9 years older than me, and you are still cool, by the way, if you're watching. But I used to think he was like this, like absolute beast of a guy, and he could conduct a conversation and, you know, maneuver in the room, and he'd be like the alpha male. So me mimicking that used to try and do the same thing, but I just looked like a clown on steroids, spiraling out of control, telling everyone what was on my vision board. Do you know what I mean? to the point where he was like, Aisha, I need you to calm down or I'm going to take you home.
No, it's
like,
bad though, isn't it? You don't realise. It was recently, I was speaking to one of my mates who's a psychotherapist, right?
Yeah.
And I was explaining to her, like, previous relationship problems and shit like that. And she was like, yeah, sorry, you know what your problem is? And I was like, what? She was like, you tell everyone everything. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, well, why did you go to him with that problem? Why didn't you just sort it yourself? And I'm like, well, because you what do you mean?
Yeah,
what do you mean? Well, I didn't know. Because I was thinking it, so I said it.
Yeah.
And she said, well, don't do that. How does one keep it in, though? And I mean, I'm all right now. I'm regulated, so I regulate daily now.
See, I need to learn how to do that because it is a little bit unfair for our Linz. She is currently my soundboard for regulation. So every night when she wants to just chill and watch Netflix, when I come home from work or a shoot or like a drive where I've just screamed for an hour to Beyonce, I come home and then offload onto her. At the end of that, she probably needs to be to block her, and she's like, just close my door, love. Good night and God bless. All right, see you tomorrow. So lovely chatting with you.
I've got some problems, Lindsay.
So lovely talking to you. Someone got like, oh, I've just got a phone call. Sorry, love.
She's ringing herself off the fucking house phone. Gotta go, love.
Yeah. Sorry, Stephen's calling me.
Aisha's in the bed again. No, she doesn't need to go. No, she's fine. She's gonna stay here.
Literally, like when my auntie calls her, she's like, Aisha, see it again, I'll have to call you back, sorry. And I'm like, and then what happens? She's thinking 2 hours have gone, and she just keeps saying, and then when's it gonna end?
No, I do it with my best mate Jess.
Yeah. See, I'd love to do that with my best mate, but I just don't put things on to me friends. It's more just my mum.
Oh no, I think when you get that level of intimacy with a mate, but it's hard to get, especially being on the spectrum, it's hard to trust people, it's hard to communicate people, and it's hard to feel safe to do that. Yeah. But I probably ring Jess once every 2 days and just speak.
Yeah.
And then she'll go, oh, sometimes we just need to say things.
That's nice, Sara.
But she'll give advice, but I won't take it 9 times out of 10.
The best at giving advice. Worst at taking it.
But have you spoken to that person about that? And I'll be like, nope.
No.
But well, you probably should do that. But yep.
And we don't. We
go and
think about
headbutt a
what
wall
we're going
instead.
to say, and then we don't say. I don't know about you, but for me, I think about what I'm going to say 50,000 times to the point where I'm giving myself an anxiety attack, and then think, oh, I just need to sleep it off.
Yeah, you know what
I'll do instead?
I'll see
none that person, and I'll just be like.
You do that. You have the conversation in your head first, don't you?
Yeah, but I say it repeatedly in my head in different ways, different tones. And I mostly practice facial expressions because I constantly get told I've got a resting bitch face. Don't get me wrong, if I want to give you like the death stare because you've absolutely pissed me off. Well, my little brother gets that death stare all the time. Love him, he's my whole world, but he knows that look. Like, he just knows. If
I look like I need a poo when I do a death stare.
No, he just knows not to ask me. Yeah, you do.
Doesn't help because I've got a fucking bog eye.
No, you don't.
I've got a funny slanted eye. Look, one of my eyes is weird and funny and slanted.
No, it's
so
not.
When I do that
Mine
face,
is currently because of this lash, but yours.
I go all lopsided. Like if I look like that now, someone's gonna comment being like, "How's the stroke, Saz?" Like,
no, it's not. We're not lopsided. But technically, each side of our face isn't the same anyway. Depending on how we sleep. No, that's why we say which side is your best because one's a little more lifted than the other. We use more of our muscles really on our right side of our face.
Really? Interesting.
What are you practicing? That reminds me when we were in the nail salon. So we actually met in a nail salon, and the nail technicians, don't know what to call them then. Nail technicians were just questioning us.
They were doing 21 questions.
Yeah, it was quite intense. And I remember I said to you, don't I know you from somewhere? And her response was, well, do you have the internet? And I was like, now I've seen in my peripheral vision the woman next to me like double tuck as if it was like gonna be offensive. But for me, it was like, oh yeah, I do. Yeah, actually, yeah, you've just answered where I know you from. So I didn't take it in an offensive way.
I didn't mean it offensively either.
I didn't take it in that way. But then when the woman next to me said, gosh, that was harsh, wasn't it? I instantly...
She did what?
Yeah.
I didn't even know she did that. What do you mean she did that?
She was like, gosh, that was harsh. And I looked at her and I was like, oh, no, because I do have the internet.
Why is this person talking smack about me for a person and a half away? I was so in my own zone at that point, I didn't even realise.
Yeah, well, I ended up, that's how we become friends, because I ended up being like, no, like,
why have you not told me that happened?
I mean, I've only seen you a few times since, it's just come to my brain, but yeah. Yeah. So that made me, I came away from that and thought, gosh, a lot of people say to me,
what the fuck?
How about... No, I'm going somewhere with this. So a lot of people say to me, well, throughout the years have said to me, why did you say that like that? Or did you mean it the way that you said it? And to me, the way I've said something, I've had to put this into practice with my mum, Arlen's, because the way I say something and how it actually sounds are clearly two different things.
Yeah.
So the same with how you said that on that day, you clearly didn't mean,
no,
bitch, have you got the internet? Do you know what I mean? But it came across as, bitch, have you got the internet?
I've got bits in my teeth and I'm trying to laugh at the same time.
So, obviously I did not take it that way. But when I came away from it, I thought, gosh, the woman next to me had a complete different experience with our conversation to what our experience was.
She wasn't in the fucking conversation. She should have stayed out of it, the stupid bitch.
But compared to our experience together, love on the spectrum over here, we were fine, and we were almost like finishing each other's sentences, and like you were telling me things, and I said to you, like, gosh, have you been in my brain? Like you just knew me without even knowing me. And I think that's because I'm so in my own brain all of the time. I instantly think that no one's going to understand me, and I have to mask in order to be liked, to be understood, to be seen. So really, it's a complete different version of me that I present to other people anyway. I really loved how authentic you are in yourself and how confident you was, where you were oblivious to how you came across,
Aisha.
or how you present yourself is really confident. Whereas for me, I walked away second guessing that whole conversation as if I was the one who might have been offensive or might have said something wrong to you.
Never.
Because I was over analysing what the woman next to me, who was not on the spectrum, was thinking about us.
It's important to not. So when someone like that, when that doesn't have any experience with anybody on the spectrum, thinks you're being rude or thinks you're being abrupt or can't understand it, they're not coming from a place of malice 9 times out of 10.
No,
but it's almost like if you go to China, you don't speak Chinese. People are speaking Chinese. You can't be offended by what you don't understand.
You were practicing Chinese.
Yeah. Oh my God, in the nail salon. So I thought, this is not a racist thing, right?
No,
I thought the people in the nail salon were Chinese.
But they're not.
So, but I had purposely gone and learned Mandarin Chinese so I could speak to them. And then we got to the nail salon and I'm like, I've been practicing something for you. Yeah. And the guy was like, we're not Chinese.
We're not Chinese. So then me and you ended up exchanging what we knew.
In Chinese?
Me from GCSE and you from recent studying in Chinese. We'd only said hi and told each other's names.
Yeah.
Love on the spectrum.
I did say to the guy, though, can I tell you anyway?
Yeah, you were like, well, I've been practicing, so can I just show you? I thought, I love that. That was me at 5. Like, I've made a dance up. Mum, Dad, you need to watch me in the living room now. Like, this needs to be about
me. He did let me, though, didn't he?
Yeah.
He was like, go on then. We are actually from Malaysia. Yeah. But if you want to practice, you practice. Not? And then he did actually speak Mandarin.
Yeah, so he knew some words.
So it was good. And we both taught each other something.
Yeah, a win is a win. I mean, you taught me something. You taught the guy something.
I taught that lady something.
Yeah.
To mind her own fucking business.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that need to mind the business. Yeah.
I think being on the spectrum makes you mind your business more, though.
No, sorry, have to disagree. I am the nosiest person.
Really?
But I don't mean to be. I'm just constantly like, but why? But why? But what about everything? When I was younger, my mum used to kick me under the table because she'd take me hairdressing with her, and the clients would say something like a story, just a normal adult conversation, and 9-year-old Aisha would want to know, but why? Why did he break up with you? Why did he? But you're 9.
Why did he finger your nan?
Shut up and colour.
Yeah.
And my mum would like kick me under the table, and I'd be like, but why have you just kicked me? And she'd want to kick me again. You know, I never got like the social cues of when to like. I never knew, and then as I got older, it was just constantly like, but why? But why? So much so, I think I used to annoy my own friends to the point where I probably didn't have any friends. They probably just tolerated me for a while, and then as an adult, again, like if you try and date someone or try and like, so for me, so I'm Muslim, so for me, dating. It's not like dating world where you just go and date and I mean no one's perfect, and obviously you've got to talk to someone in order to try and date them, but you're dating for an intention, or you're speaking to someone with an intention, and I think me trying to, I'm not ready to do that. Is what I'm trying to say, because it's just a constant but why did you do that, but why, like I'd just probably do someone's head in. So I think I need at least 2 more years of therapy. And then I'll go on Love on the Spectrum.
This is what I teach my clients, like, the but why.
Yeah.
No. That is you trying to be hyper vigilant. That is you trying to mind where the next threat's coming from. Yeah. You know what I mean? So when I was younger, mine was actually. Right? Yes. Instead of but what, actually. Right?
I used to say that.
Yeah. My godfather, Ernie, God bless his soul, he used to call me Miss Actually. Right? Where's Miss Actually? Because anything anyone said, I'd be like, actually.
Yeah.
Right? I'd always want to have like an opposing view.
Yeah.
Right? And I think as I got older, that got worse. Because I would just have the opposing view. And then when you start being a little crackhead at the same time, so not only are you...
You said it.
Not only are you the person that now is the opposite of what people want you to be, but you're going to purposely have an opposing view to everything. That is just the height of dislike. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it was more my dad's side of the family, for me, who are quite a confident bunch in their own right. My mum's side of the family are quite introverted.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of spectrum on both sides. There's a lot.
I think there's a lot of spectrum everywhere.
Yeah.
Spectrum is upon us.
Yeah, but very different, like opposing sides of the spectrum.
Yeah.
So me growing up, I kind of didn't fit into either side. Like, plus I'm mixed race, so obviously my dad's side are not fully English, my mum's side are. So you're already playing two different worlds. Do you know what I mean? Like
masking on the masking.
Like you're already in two different worlds. Plus the fact that I am a revert. Like I took my Shahada a few years ago, and went into my journey with Islam. But being younger, having that deep-rooted interest, again, people around me is like, she's got a screw loose. Like, where's she getting this from? So then to have all of these, actually and literally and all of these opinions is, gosh, Aisha's over opinionated.
Yeah.
Gosh, she doesn't know when really you just want to share these facts and these fun things that you've learned because you're hyper focused on something.
100%.
So for 5 weeks, you've got all of these opinions and facts and all this content that you've got in your brain that, you know, when we were younger, we didn't have social media. So you just speak.
Beg to differ. I had a Pixar account and it was stunning.
I remember Bebo. Do you remember Bebo?
I had a Bebo, yeah.
Yeah.
One less lonely girl at the top.
So you just want to well, for me, I just wanted to share, and it just came across as really over opinionated, and yeah, it was my dad's side of the family who kind of put that in my head. Of like,
I think I started drinking.
Opinionated.
Honestly, I think I started drinking and doing drugs and things because I was so opinionated, and I think it was a way to literally numb and subdue myself, to be like, no, shut up, right? You're doing too much.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, honestly, because my dad was an addict, so I never aspired to be an addict. Do you know what I mean? I saw it, so I knew the harm that it did.
Yeah.
But I started drinking, smoking, doing all sorts of madness at 12, 13. Yeah. Like, I was shagging by like 13, 14.
Wow.
Yeah, like older blokes though. Do you know what I mean? And I thought it was very normal. Right, very normal. So as soon as I moved out of my, because
you're more mature for your age.
Yeah. I'm more mature. I grew up in Widnes and then moved away, right? And in that moving away was the making of me.
Yeah.
Because no one knew the backstory. No one knew I was a tramp. No one knew I was... No, but I was a little trampy at some point. But I can understand why the trampy came out. Because if you have a low self-esteem, you're not going to look after yourself. You're not going to look after your body. You're not going to look after your mind. It's one of them.
Of course.
Right?
And if you're getting bullied as well in school.
I don't think I was bullied. I think I thought I was.
Oh, just me then.
Who the fuck bullied you but not me?
No, I was
saying that I was the gobby. I was gobby autistic, right?
No,
So
I looked like Dora the
everyone.
Explorer, big curly hair, one eyebrow, kickers, backpack. Yeah, I was.
Should we exchange pictures?
I was the Dora the Explorer. I had a sister in the same year as me.
Really?
Yeah, and she was the popular one. Pretty, do you know what I mean? And I looked like Dora the Explorer with one eyebrow. So yeah, and then I had a cousin who was 2 years older than me. Again, also my dad's sister's daughter. Absolutely stunning. You know, all of the ethnic features, all of the black features, but bright blonde hair, blue eyes, really fair skin. Again, stunning, absolutely stunning. And then you had me that looked like. Have you seen Griselda, the series?
Oh, fuck off. Fuck off. No, you didn't.
No, I did. I've got pictures. I'll show you. It was honestly a different time.
So I heard something the other day, right? I think you'll be interested in. I was talking to a woman on the internet who specialises in helping younger people with autism.
Okay.
Recognise the rest of the world, basically, and siphon themselves through the bullshit that is the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And she said sometimes, right, back when we were in school, people didn't necessarily recognise autism.
No.
So it was just naughty kids, but she coins it nautism, right?
Yeah.
Nautism. Some kids are really introverted on the spectrum, right?
Yeah.
Some kids are really extroverted on the spectrum.
Yeah.
But what you think is naughty behaviour is actually nautism.
It's a cry for help.
Right? Because I was a little shit, right? I used to absolutely, anything to get attention in school, anything, right? Like to the point where I asked my PSHE teacher if he'd been circumcised.
Ooh.
In front of the class, and he was like, McCarthy, get out.
Wow.
Yeah, like just stupid shit like that. Or like I started smoking, bringing fags in, right, all the time, right, and like, or like there was this guy that used to sell Lucasades, and I just go and take him out of his bag.
Do you remember that when all the kids started selling Lucasades?
Yeah.
These made a killing.
Yeah, literally. Well, I used to rob him off him, and then he'd be like, "Oh, you can pay me then for later." Yeah, I'll pay you later. I'd never have any money. How was I going to pay him, right?
Mine was, the chocolate boosts. No wonder I was massive. I used to eat like 4 a day. I used to just eat my feelings away.
Well, at least you could eat. I used to use my lunch money to buy cigarettes and weed.
How do you find being a mum and being on the spectrum yourself? Because that's one thing that I've always kind of contemplated what I'd be like as a mum. Now I've been diagnosed with autism. It's like, yeah.
On the spectrum, off the spectrum, parenting's always going to be difficult, isn't it? It's always going to have challenges. But I think we don't know any different, and we can't do anything about it anyway. Right? There's no cure for autism because it doesn't need to be cured.
Yeah.
So if you're a parent with autism, you're never going to be a parent without it.
Yeah.
So you only know how to parent from the perspective of, if from the perspective of autism.
Yeah, that's true.
Asperger's, autism, ADHD, anything like that. You've never been without it. You spent your whole life having it, whether you were diagnosed or not. So when you do have children, if you do have children, they won't know a parent without it.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is your best at any point.
I mean, you've got an upper hand because you've got a degree in it, but like the average gal like myself that doesn't genuinely have a clue, I'm just figuring out my triggers now. Do you know what I mean? And
Mate, no, degree don't do fuck all.
Because let's not go there. But at the age I am, 14 to 25, I feel I feel like there's days where I feel like I'm winging it now, and I've only just started to feel like a woman. I feel like I'm winging it.
You are winging it. We're all winging it. There's not one person on this planet that isn't winging it.
Yeah.
And anyone that tells you they're not winging it is also lying and winging it.
Yeah.
Because everyone is.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going to happen minute to minute, hour to hour, day to day.
Yeah.
So as long as you can just regulate yourself enough to be like, today feels like it might be a shit day.
Yeah.
So what do I do if I know I'm going to have a shit day? How do I know I can make this day easier for myself? So if I wake up, and some days you wake up and you just feel shit, right? I'll be like, okay, I need to feed myself. I need to water myself. I need some sunlight. I'm going to act like an aloe vera plant, first of all.
Yeah.
Right? Then when I'm done acting like an aloe vera plant, I'm going to act like a puppy, right? So I go from plant to puppy, which then means I need to walk myself, right? I need to go do some exercise somewhere, right? I might need some sort of toy to play with for half an hour. Need to stimulate that way, right? And then I need to sit down, right? I need to stay.
Stare at a wall.
Right, stare at a wall for a bit. No, but that might work, right? Just for a little bit.
Yeah.
But I won't let myself get derailed in doing that. So if I'm going to stare at a wall, I'm going to stare at a wall with purpose. I'm going to put a timer on my phone for 15 minutes, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to, for example, I go and I'll pull like I've got a little box of like little psalms, okay?
Okay.
And I'll go and pull a psalm, okay? Now I'm going to focus on that for 15 minutes.
Okay.
Give your brain some sort of purpose, some sort of structure. Sometimes the brain just wants to do something. Doesn't care what that something is. Something is better than nothing.
Yeah.
And something provides momentum. Momentum makes the brain believe it is getting out of its current situation. So as long as it has some sort of momentum, it's going forward. You know what I mean? So even if I feel like the whole day is destabilised and I want to procrastinate, I'm going to procrastinate with purpose.
Did you spend a lot of time alone when you were a kid, or no?
Yeah, but
Because I did.
I just used to I'd go to people's houses that didn't even want me there on the street and just be there.
Yeah.
I had the opposite autism to you. You're like, need some time alone, and I'm like, I need to tell people everything.
Yeah, but I didn't know that, and I used to do that with the people around me. So my older sister used to say, do you remember that child's program, Story Maker? Yeah, she used to sing that to me because I kid you not, to be liked, I used to be like, and then, and my sister would be like, none of that happened. But because I'd just be in my room by
I was
myself.
doing that till I was about 19.
How did that story happen when you've been cleaning your room 7 times and you've changed it round because of the feng shui and you're 9? Do you know what I mean?
My mate Jess came mine today. She went, has your room changed? And I went, yeah. I've completely
Yeah.
changed it round the other day.
Yeah, I have to. Like, I'll go into the room and think, this is not me anymore. And I'll either want to redecorate it or buy whole new furniture for the room, or just for now, like, just change it round.
I have to go B&M, impromptu B&M to get
Yeah.
all new colours of bedding.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
I'm
white
not a beige
bedding.
girl anymore.
No, I have to have white bedding. My room's not beige anymore, thankfully, but I have to have white bedding, and I have to have my bed made. You know, when you're in it,
Yeah.
I have to have it made over me. Otherwise, I just feel odd. I mean, if I could sleep like this, I really would. But I
You can do
can't.
that. Free will is a thing.
I know, and I'm only just learning how to use my free will.
You can
I don't
use
think
it.
I've-
You know what? Tonight, use it. Really treat yourself.
I've only just learned how to use my free will. Trust me. I mean, I've been through a lot, and I think now I've hit 30. I'm only just learning how to use my free will, and
Dirty
it's a journey. It's a journey for sure. Especially now being diagnosed with autism, and I go in and out of love with modelling and in and out of love with acting. And one minute I'm like, I'm a career girly and I work in a surgical clinic and I've got this and all medical, and then the next minute I'm like, I'd love a bit of a sing-song and an audition.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Cats. Do you know what I mean? Lion King.
Yeah.
Terminala. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
EastEnders, anyone? Like, I'd fancy a bit of a personality change, and so with acting I can do that. So I'll put myself into an acting class again and, you know, be Giselle or Griselda or Patricia or whoever I need to be. And then when I feel like being like that girl, then I'll make sure I get booked for a shoot and I'm on my A game. But I do definitely flicker between versions of myself depending where I am in the year, whether my anxiety's high or not, whether I love myself in that time.
You got seasonal
or whether
oppression.
I'm not. You're like, yeah. So I think learning how to use my free will, which is something I've definitely not made the most of, is a whole new journey for me.
I
now.
don't think women do in general.
Yeah.
Like, whether we're on the spectrum or not, women generally do not use their free will to the highest potential.
Oh no, definitely. I think a lot of women, I might be talking out of turn here, but a lot of women depend on their partners to kind of dictate what they do with their free will.
Where they're going forward.
Yeah.
I see it a lot when they're like, it's like, oh, what do you want to do? And like, for example, I can message one of my mates, right? And be like, oh, do you want to do something in a few weeks, right? And I know their first thought is, if they've got a boyfriend, okay, what's he doing?
Yeah.
Whereas if someone says to me, you want to do something in a few weeks, I'm like, yeah! And then I'll think, you've got other people, you've got to ask, you know, you've got to pay attention to what they want. But always my first thing will be like, yes, let's do it now.
Yeah. I'm kind of like that, like all or nothing.
Yeah.
If I get invited to somewhere, not often, but when I get, it sounds so sad.
I invite you.
No, yeah, you do, but I'm not very good with
turning up.
Not necessarily being on time for a start.
Time
issue.
I'm on my way. I'm like, why? You are 2.5 hours early, Aisha.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm either super early and I've got the times mixed up, you know, or I'm really late and I'm like, it's fine, they'll wait for me, it's okay. No, it's not. Like, the world does not revolve around you.
But it does.
But in my brain, I'm the main character in this world, and it's really bad sometimes, but I don't mean it in a bad way.
It's a helpful delusion, though.
Yeah, like, I think I was called delusional a few months ago.
No, I didn't mean it in a bad way.
No. I think it's a brilliant thing.
I think delusional is a compliment.
Yeah,
unless you're actually, you know, mental, like stabby,
no, of course,
numerous personalities.
The person who called me delusional, if they're watching this now, props to you, because how's it working out for me? Quite well.
Yeah, she's not delusional.
Yeah.
She's on the little blue sofa.
Yeah, but it's just like I was told I was delusional, and that person was trying to hold me back from achieving what I wanted to achieve, but say that they were trying to help me and create me to be the best version of myself. Really, really good friend who I thought was, and unfortunately didn't turn out to be.
So it was a friend that said you were delusional?
Yeah.
Male or female?
I mean, presented as female. No, I'm joking. They were male. But yeah, and I was called delusional. And it just made me think, like, I agree with you. I am delusional, and probably to the point of where you don't fit in my delusional world.
Yeah.
So off I go.
Yeah.
This has been fun.
Me and my delusions.
Yeah. Take Aisha's 13-year-old diary with you.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Good luck and God bless. Return to sender.
Yeah.
Wish you all the best, but no, thank you. So my point being, I'm not very good with timekeeping. You know, friendships, I love my friends dearly, but I'm not very good at communicating probably when they need me to, and vice versa when I need to communicate to them. So with you saying that you call your friends every 2 days, sometimes it can be weeks between when I call my friends.
See, I have that with people. So I've got mates that I won't
really
speak
bad
to.
Then.
No, you don't need to feel bad. I have weeks where I won't talk to anyone. There could be months where I won't talk to anyone. But then I have like my, it's like a comfort person. You know what I mean? No, it is. It's a comfort person.
Yeah, no,
so I will go like 4 weeks, 5 weeks without speaking or replying to anybody except Jess 9 times out of 10, because anyone else, I'm like that. I can't fathom with you at the minute. I can't communicate with you.
Mine both, Courtney and Charlotte. They're props to you. They are amazing individuals, very different from each other. But I have to have friendships outside of a friendship. I can't have them in the same. I can't do that whole friendship group. 7 of us in a group.
Is that you got a bad experience with that then?
I just can't. I've never really done that, to be honest. I can't do it. I prefer one-on-one. Like me and you are going to do something, and then I've got. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get. So when people invite their friends along, well, that's because you probably don't like the dynamic, because the dynamic changes. And with a lot of people on the spectrum, if you've not got like one-on-one or one-on-two, see, I'm pushing the boat. I can manage one-on-3 sometimes, right?
I'd love that. Like, teach me.
But like I used to be like, I just need my favourite person.
Yeah. Like, otherwise, I feel like I have to. Orchestrate the conversation in the group, and it's not down to me to do so. And it's took me so long where I now purposely don't put myself in those scenarios, because it was just uncomfortable for everyone. Because it looked like Aisha was trying to be centre of attention.
Yeah, it looked like you were trying to control it.
It looked like,
in a way you would have been.
To school.
You would have been trying to control it though, but to protect yourself, like not in like a narcissistic way.
Yeah, no, but it was definitely come across probably as, before I even knew what a narcissist was.
Yeah.
I definitely probably presented myself like that, because I just felt like I was safer if I conducted the conversation.
If you controlled the group,
if I controlled
the narrative,
the room, the energy, I controlled the narrative, and then when it's time for me to go, I've got my car keys, I'm going.
Yeah, no, I get that.
But then I'd be really drained and tired, and it got to the point where my mum was like, "You don't need to." Notice my mum's always at the centre of it.
Yeah.
She's the one that was like, Aisha, you don't need to do this anymore. Like, you really, really don't. You're exhausting yourself.
Yeah.
And that's where now I try not to put myself in that scenario. But yeah, I've had friends over the years, amazing people at those times. We grow out of it.
You've got to grow apart from people. You've got to. And do you know when you look back and like small town mentality and they're all still mates? I just think, how the fuck have you managed that?
Yeah, there's a few of them. And I think...
You didn't like each other at 15. How are you still mates now at 30?
Yeah, and I think for me, it was... It never used to hurt me, but it used to always make me question, like, is it me? Am I, like, I don't understand, because they're not on the spectrum, and they get along really well, and then they're not on the spectrum, and they've been friends for 15 years, and I'd love to have a story where I can say I've been friends with this person for 25, 30, 40, 50 years, but it just hasn't worked out that way for me, because when I don't appreciate the energy in the room, I'm not afraid to get up and remove myself. Good luck, God bless, I wish you all the best. But at the same time, I also am not that type of female who will then go around giving that person energy, bitching about them. Yeah. Like, I just haven't got the time nor energy. No. I've had it done. And, good luck and God bless to you. You must have had your reasons. I'm not even going to... But to me, I just haven't got the energy to give you. No. I literally have a vision board that I want to achieve. And if I give my energy to you, then who's got time to be delusional? Not me.
That's it. I would say it's legitimacy over longevity.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter how long you've been in my life. Yeah. What matters is how legitimate your part to play is.
Yeah, and where I am in my life, on my journey. Like, if you don't match where I'm at in my life, I know that sounds really selfish, because some people can be friends with each other and they're at different stages in life. I find that really hard. I find it really hard because, as we're aware in this conversation, when we're at certain stages, let's just say if this conversation is if it was a relationship or a friendship, if I'm not on the same page with you, it's almost derailed onto a topic that is of a narrative I can relate to. And I don't mean to do that, but it almost feels like, oh, let's make it all about me. And I don't mean to come across that way.
I don't think you do that.
But thank you. But it's something that I've acknowledged that I do. And it's definitely because I'm autistic, but it's that sense of control in the narrative, because then I'm protected and I'm in control of it and I know where it's going.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
think
mean?
sometimes though people take a woman that is intelligent, attractive, has a lot going for her, and they tell her to shut up, and they'll tell you that you're making everything about you. Well, that's just because they're scared of how much is about you that they could never amount to.
Yeah, I love that. Where was you 5 years ago? My word, yeah,
I was probably doing cocaine somewhere.
Yeah, I've been told that
in the back of the Weatherspoons in Chester off my barnet, probably.
Oh gosh,
yeah,
not the Weatherspoons.
It was always the spoons, my love.
No.
It was always the
But
spoons.
yeah, I've been told that over the years, and sometimes the closest people to you, whether it be friends, family, or otherwise extended, people of which your circle of love is, sometimes they can be your biggest
haters.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You don't never have a hater that don't know you.
No, like
the people that don't
really
know you
are.
and dislike you, they might get a little bit obsessy, right?
Yeah.
But it's only when they believe they know you that they turn into a hater. I have never had so much hate other than from someone I loved.
Really?
Yeah. The biggest haters I've ever had in my life were people I would have died for at one time, right? More than a random stranger. Don't get me wrong, there's random strangers all over the internet. They go, you fat slag, you big fat twat, all this stuff. Don't care about that, right? You don't hate me. I'm fine with who I am. I'm good with that either way,
and I'm not
right?
just saying it, you're not. So.
No, I'm a sexy beast,
You
but that's
are?
irrelevant,
I
right?
love that.
So, but the biggest hating I've ever had has come from like best friends that I've absolutely adored.
Yes.
Yeah. And the minute you outgrow them in any way, and bear in
Yeah.
mind, I'm the type of person, if I feel like I'm outgrowing you, I'm not just going to fuck off straight away. I'm going to try first and help you to get to where I'm at. Because I don't want to get there without you, really. I
Yeah.
will go if needs be. You won't
Yeah.
hold me back.
Yeah.
But ideally, I'd like you there with me.
Yeah,
So-
I feel like you've just explained what I was trying to say so much better in a much quicker way.
That's all right. We get there
Yeah.
eventually. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But like the biggest hate I've ever had is off people that I've outgrown.
Yeah.
Because you'll notice,
100%.
right? And I'll be like, okay, so
And female relationships are
oh,
hard.
don't. Because
Hard.
they're in competition. If you're not in competition with one another, female relationships are easy and they're beautiful and they're wonderful. But when you look at the differences that someone has to you and you create a competition out of them, instead of just appreciating them, that is where the problems come in, right?
Yeah.
Every single one of my close girl mates is different to me in many, many ways, right?
And that's the best
But they're
way.
beautiful. They're amazing
Yeah,
girls. And
yeah.
not one of them would I go, oh, fucking hell, she's competing with me.
No.
Because they wouldn't be a close mate if I thought they were.
Yeah.
Right? I don't get me wrong, I'm fully aware there are people that I wouldn't class as mates. They
Mm-hmm.
would probably class me as a mate purely because they keep me close because they're in competition. Right? That's different. Anyone I class as a mate, I'm not in competition with you. If you
No.
need help to get to where you want to go and I can help you, I'll provide that help, right?
Yeah.
If that help's going to become a hindrance to me, I will advise you on how to help yourself and I'll be there if you need a springboard to bounce off,
Yeah.
right? That sort of thing. But the biggest hate I've ever had is off people that I would have gone left to south for them. You know what I mean? I would have gone to hell and back for some of these people.
Yeah.
And
I've been there.
when they realise that you're going to outgrow them,
Yeah.
they realise something really important. And that's that you're also going to expose them. Stay with me.
Yeah.
right?
No. I'm
Right?
with you.
So when someone realises that as a friend, right, and this goes for partners too, and also family members, when they realise that as a friend they haven't been encouraging you, right, they have been bitching, okay, they've been in a lot of ways cutting you to fall short whenever they
Yeah.
can, right, and they realise that regardless of anything they've put in your path, you've overcome it and you're growing because of it, right?
Yeah.
Growing to the point where you're about to start outgrowing them.
Maybe
They-
delayed you slightly,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
you've
yeah.
inevitably still got to where you need to.
Yeah. They start panicking because once you are no longer associated with them, once you've outgrown them, once people can see that you've outran them, it's going to expose their weaknesses.
Yeah.
Okay? It's going to expose that they might have held you back. It's
Yeah.
going to expose that you're actually a stronger person or a more career-orientated person or you're more successful or you're this or you're that, whatever it is,
Yeah.
right? It's going to expose that, right? And in exposing your strengths, you're going to expose their weaknesses. And the
Yeah.
whole reason they were trying to hold you back was because they liked how you made them feel.
Yeah.
You made them feel stronger because they knew actually you were stronger than them. So you being underneath them gives them an ego boost.
Oh, 100%. It sounds like you're describing someone that I used to know.
Yeah, well, I am, because it's that kind of person.
Yeah.
And I had a best friend that did this, and it fucking, it hurt.
Yeah, so it hurt.
Hurt like a fucker, man.
I think you can probably see as you're talking. I'm like, yeah.
It hurts like a cunt when it's your best mate. You're like, woo!
Yeah.
I expected this from a man. I did not expect this from you.
I loved said friend at the time, like a sister, and everything you've just described is like, don't get me wrong, she's successful in her own right. I would never wish any harm onto her. I would never wish any negativity onto her. Good luck, God bless. Stay far away from me. Do you know what I mean? But it's just, yeah, I had a friend who sent a picture around of me, not a bad picture of like anything dodgy, thank God, but a picture around of like, do you think she's actually pretty? Do you think she's coming into herself, or do you think that she's like? And this is at a time of when I was probably at my chubbiest. I was in.
I think she's actually pretty. What a weird question to
I
ask
was in
anyway.
theatre school. I didn't really know myself. I didn't really know how to dress. Didn't really know how to. And she was probably the it girl. Like, she was amazing. She literally looked like Barbie. She was gorgeous, but had a lot of self-esteem issues.
Was it?
I'm not about to say.
Oh, right, yeah. Sorry.
But,
not me ready to fucking DM her.
Who is it? Yeah.
Who was it?
Oh, yeah. But yeah, and I think she taught me a lot, don't get me wrong, she really did. But that was my experience of having that friendship that was like a relationship, because it's like a sisterhood, being through hell and back together. We literally grew up in our 20s together. I'm a few years younger than her, but she taught me a lot. But what I didn't realise was they were bad habits and they were bad things that not the person I am today.
Thing that she taught herself to survive.
Yeah, and in doing so, it works for her, but I had to grow up and grow out of those things to be my version of myself now, and to achieve the things that I want to achieve for the Aisha today that I am proud of.
You can't achieve anything while you're competing with everyone else.
No, of course, but I think because I always thought that I was less than, because I didn't know I was on the spectrum, I didn't know I was strange, I didn't find myself pretty or attractive, I was bullied in school. I didn't really fit into like the social norms, couldn't really understand how people made conversation or friends, because I just constantly want to say, I'm on my vision board this week, and it was like, no one cares.
I care about your vision board, mate.
No, now it's different, but I think as a teenager, they're looking at you like you've got three heads, because they're like, who is this person? And do you know what I mean? I was probably like Sheldon off the Big Bang Theory, just with massive curly hair and one eyebrow. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, it's so different trying to then maneuver yourself in a world that favourites more attractive women and a certain body type and for a while I followed the different trends, especially being in the modelling industry, you know, well the social media industry as well. It's you follow the trend of fillers and Botox and then all of a sudden, you know, you're like, no, that's not me anymore, so you get them dissolved, then you go on a different path of fitness and no filler and no Botox but some extensions, and then now I want to go natural. So I battle between currently curly hair and natural to full face glam and extensions. It's because it's different versions of myself, but I've come a long way since the young girl who didn't know how to stand in a room and like blink 15 times to try and be normal.
I'm really proud of you, mate.
Thanks.
I think you just sometimes need to come to terms with the fact that you are going to be a little metamorphosis for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You don't have to find one staple Aisha.
Yeah.
Just have 20 that you all like equally as much.
Yeah. Is that multifaceted? Is that the word?
It's completely normal. Completely normal, right? People always try and find their staple look, their staple.
Yeah,
What? Well, you're not a staple, you dickhead.
Yeah.
Right? You're a person that will wake up different every single day. Some days I will be a goth. Other days I will decide today I'm a clean princess and I need my hair slicked back, right?
Yeah.
And none of those are my signature look. Because you don't have a fucking signature look. You are your own signature. That's why everyone's signature is different, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's fingerprint's different.
I think it's just having people around you that support that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But normal people will support that, right? People that have emotional understanding and intellectual understanding will support you in being whatever version you want to be that hour, right? Unless it's a version that's hurting you, right?
Yeah.
The only time you should step in and question whether someone is being a particular version of themselves is if that version is detrimental, right? If you're not self-destructing, if you aren't being detrimental to yourself, I have no reason to comment on what you're doing. I'm just going to help you through it, right?
Do you not find though being on the spectrum, because obviously you're as much as I hope you don't mind me saying this, as much as you're autistic, it's more of the Asperger side, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas I'm the other side of just hyper. What was it?
Hypervigilant.
Hypervigilant autistic. Yeah. So I think it's different when you're around people who don't understand that you're autistic because they've known a version of you. Like, I don't know whether you were diagnosed earlier or
Yeah, they knew the
later.
mask. They know the mask.
Yeah, but for me, being diagnosed later, now because everyone's being diagnosed with autism or ADHD, it's like, oh, we've all got a little bit of something. And
No, you
it's
don't.
Like,
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
No, you
really
don't.
You haven't got a clue what it's like. And
some people that aren't diagnosed go, oh, I've got ADHD, and you go, oh, are you diagnosed? And they go, no, and you're like,
yeah, you almost get excited because it's like, oh, are we
me
best
too,
friends?
me too.
Like Step Brothers movie.
Yeah,
like, did we just become best
friends? And they're like, no, but I watched a TikTok. And it's like,
like bought off. Like, I'm sick of seeing like TikToks. That poor Lucinda on Love Island got diagnosed by the whole nation of being autistic because she did a baby voice and played around a little bit when do you know what I mean?
Just felt comfortable.
She just was herself. But anyway, my point being, people know the mask, and when you're diagnosed later, like myself, with autism, they almost feel like you're just jumping on a trend. Like, it's not like jumping on the Manjaro pen or Ozempic and just wanting to be skinny all of a sudden. It's actually something that's detrimental to your character, who you are.
It's a neurobiological condition.
Yeah, and I think it's something that you have to understand yourself. So when they're like, well, how are you different? How does it affect your life now? And you're like, well, it's not like getting a chest infection where you get over it. It's something I've been living with. It's just now I have to understand how my brain works in more depth.
Yeah, now I can have a cognitive understanding of it.
Yeah, like
because now I can Google
therapy
it
instead of just being told that I'm depressed but high functioning. When I'm not depressed, I want to be here.
I got that.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I know people who have been depressed, and I know people who have not wanted to be here anymore.
I'm not depressed. I'm misunderstood.
And I think it's very different on that side of things when, like you've just said, I'm just misunderstood, and it can be really lonely. Being lonely and being depressed are two completely different things. Like, they really are. And you can be lonely in a relationship, you can be lonely with your best friend, you can be lonely around your family, you can be surrounded in a room, crowd of people that love and adore you and you love and adore them, but still feel misunderstood because you are on the spectrum and you don't even know how to orchestrate your own life sometimes. And it's hard to have that conversation with someone who is watching TikToks and self-diagnosing.
I know.
And suddenly want to relate to you. Like,
it's
exhausting.
Not the same. It's absolutely fucking
really
exhausting.
Yeah.
Especially when you go, oh, so when were you diagnosed? You go, well, I wasn't.
Yeah.
Right. And they go, but I definitely have it.
Yeah.
I understand you think you definitely have it. And don't be wrong, the NHS is very slow to diagnose. A large majority of people will have ADHD, Asperger's, autism, right? And they will do. AUHD, right? But unless you've had it diagnosed, please don't say it.
No, don't announce it to me as if we're like twins.
Two in the same,
we're really not.
Because it hurts. It does hurt because you go, oh. So I've had to go X amount of years to really go and get a diagnosis, to try and understand myself, to be able to work through that hamster wheel. There is the after diagnosis process where then you're going, oh shit. Because everyone has that moment of, oh shit, I've got diagnosis now. Oh shit, so I'm not just weird. And then you feel like
I had that.
You feel like it should be euphoric, but after the euphoria, it's like
it's overwhelming. It's like you get the diagnosis. I always get asked this, how does it feel? How does it feel now you're diagnosed? I'll tell you how it feels. If for me, it felt euphoric for about 30 seconds.
Then completely
and then
overwhelming.
It felt completely overwhelming, where I felt like I needed to lie on the floor with a weighted blanket and have like that sensory light on for an hour.
And it makes you angry at people.
I mean? Because I just wanted to cry, but silently.
Yeah.
Like none of that whole wailing and woe was me. Like just deep in thought, and I did. That's literally what I did. I do have a sensory light. I didn't know it was called a sensory light. I just thought it looked like the Northern Lights. But there we are. I do have a weighted blanket, but I just thought, a little bit like the bag today.
Sensory bag.
I just thought it was something that was cute. No, turns out it's all to do with sensory.
Stimming.
And yeah, stimming, and I didn't know that. My mum will walk past my room and say, like, honestly, are you okay? Why are you still sat in the same position? And I'm like, because I'm stimming. And she's like, right, come on, Aisha, it's been an hour, get up. And at my age now, I still need my mum to do that, because if I don't, like you were saying, you're very good at not derailing.
Yeah. Taking years though.
Yeah,
Taking years.
Yeah, and obviously with your knowledge and your experience and how you help other people, you're probably great at that. For me, I can derail and really not mean to, and it can take me a week to get back into routine. The first thing to go for me is fitness, then it's communication with friends and family. So then I've isolated myself. I'm not doing that movement. I'm not exercising my mind. And what I didn't realise was I was watching the same movies on repeat, because it was like a safety of, I knew what was coming. I knew the words. I knew the story. There's no emotional roller coaster of, you know, like The Notebook, where I'm going to start ball out crying. If it's Harry Potter, I know it's magical and I follow the words. But when you're watching it for the 20th time in a week, it's like someone needs to snap you out of it.
But it does. Watching stuff on the telly does do that, and it exhausts you.
Definitely. I think going through phases of not watching anything and staying away from Netflix and staying away from, you end up being overly competitive with yourself, because you just want to up yourself every day. You want to be better every day. And then you almost burn yourself out, because you've done the friendships and you've done everything to do with fitness and you're smashing it at work and all the rest of it. But because you're masking, and you don't realise that you are, because you're overachieving and you're just ploughing yourself into the ground, because you're not giving yourself that sensory time, you're not giving yourself that decompression, you're not giving yourself any like mental peace, and then the candle burns at both ends and you end up needing a week to recuperate with complete silence, and then you'll be yourself again. And I think having friendships that don't understand that, or having a relationship that where they don't understand that, can be really hard.
100%.
So going back to that love on the spectrum, it is really hard to maneuver in relationships, whether that be friendships or otherwise, especially if you're looking for a husband, or, you know, and I say that again because of religious beliefs for me. You know, you date with the intention to marry. Unfortunately, you know, sometimes you get your heart broken and stuff like that, which is always rubbish. But, you know, but then it's all part of the journey, and
you got to kiss some frogs, mate.
Yeah, not that many.
In my experience, approximately 52.
Oh, stop it! No,
that's a joke.
No,
not slept with 52 people.
But yeah, no, I think for me, it's difficult to maneuver yourself within those relationships and friendships. And that whole love on the spectrum analogy is hard when you don't even know how to love yourself, is what I'm trying to get to. But
it's important to have people around you.
Yeah,
have people around you that encourage you to be balanced and encourage you to be better without competing with what that looks like. It's time to read the crying in the DMs, and obviously I forgot my paper again, so it's going off my phone. I think this one you'll relate to. Feel free to give her any advice. Okay. I thought I was finally getting my big break. I'd always wanted to model, not for fame or even money, just to feel seen. So when an agency reached out on Instagram, which, by the way, was a totally professional looking page with other models featured and a really, really clean aesthetic, it looked very legit. They told me I had the look and that brands would love me and that I just needed to invest in myself first. They asked for a portfolio fee, hair, makeup, studio, photographer.
Yeah.
Although I hesitated, they kept pushing. Opportunities like this don't come twice. We're holding a spot just for you. Don't let fear ruin your future. So I paid. I showed up to the shoot nervous but excited. But there were no contracts, no direction, and the photographer kept changing the vibe from professional to uncomfortable. The outfits got smaller and the poses got more suggestive. And every time I hesitated, they hit me with, models like you need to be confident. Don't waste our time and your own.
Yeah.
You've already paid. Do you want this career or not? I started to feel like I wasn't a person anymore, just something to be shaped and moulded into the image of the photographer's dream. By the end of the day, I felt drained, but they told me it was amazing. They said brands would be calling soon. 8 weeks passed and nothing happened. I asked for my photos, but there was silence. I chased them, I messaged, and I emailed them. Then they sent them. Blurry, over-edited, half not even usable. The rest, well, they posted them on their page without my consent, and the captions were ChatGPT written shite. That's when it clicked. There were no brands, there were no contracts, there were no career. It was a setup. A business built on convincing girls that they're almost there if they just pay a little more. I didn't just lose money, I lost confidence, and I didn't even recognise myself in those photos. I felt like my worth depended on me saying yes, and so I agreed to let them keep them on their page so long as they tagged me. They refused to tag me and block me. I began reaching out to other people on their contact lists, asking if the same had happened to them. Real agencies, I learned, don't chase you like that, and they do not charge up front. They definitely don't need to make you feel small to succeed. And since then, I've learned to trust my gut, and have started, in brackets, I am starting, it's a small startup, my own agency to help educate young models hoping to get into the social media industry. What advice would you have for me, Aisha?
First of all, please message me. I would love to be involved within your
Go
company.
on, girl. Look at you making friends.
I love that. We can be best friends. Yeah, please message me. I'd love to know who that was, because I think I could really offer some knowledge and support with that experience that she's just explained. I've been there, I've done it. If the shoe fits Cinderella, like literally I've been there. That was the exact type of agency I was talking about earlier, who, you know, will stop you in the middle of the street and say, we really love you, and then you pay a fee, and everything that she's just said happens, and they try and be the middleman, and it's a complete load of BS.
Slow boy, isn't it?
Anyone who is currently being approached by agents, fake agents like that, please go and do your research. Go and look at models that you aspire to be like that have a similar
Go and look at
to
Aisha.
you. So it's Aisha, so Isha, Rian, Rian. So yeah, I think
We'll tag her below.
yeah. Yeah, just go and do your research. You know, there's agents everywhere, especially in the UK, never mind overseas. You can have a mother agent and then be co-signed. You can just be with one standard agent. There's different ways that you can do it. You do not need to pay for a portfolio. You do not need to pay for that middleman. You don't need to go and take pictures and be in next to nothing. You can be a complete modest model, influencer, whatever it is that you want to pursue in the creative industry, you can do it. Don't ever listen to a photographer that tells you that, number one, you can't do it. Number two, you need to take off a little bit more to gain a little bit more. And number three, never pay for this fake studio session with a photographer that you have no idea who they are. Go and do your research. There's Instagram, there's TikTok, there's whatever it may be. They've got social handles. Agents, if you're not sure what agent to go with, drop me a message. I know a few agencies that are amazing, really, really good places that will help grow and develop young girls, young boys into being phenomenal models, actresses. You just need to believe in yourself, and don't ever think a quick win is the way forward, because the quickest wins will be the biggest downfalls. You have to do the 1% every day. You really do. And it's doing the 1% every day that will get you the longevity of success. The small wins, the quick fixes, all the rest of it, those moments last seconds, not
anything worth having takes time.
Yeah. So to wrap it all up, never be overwhelmed by thinking that this opportunity will never present itself again. If it's meant for you, it will never pass you, and you'll be offered again time and time again until it's the right time. If you feel like this opportunity is never going to happen again and don't ever keep it a secret. Speak to someone about it. Drop someone a message. That's what social media is for. Like, message someone who you are inspired by and ask them about it.
100%.
And if you don't know who to message me. that would be mine. That would be
brilliant advice, mate. Feel free to turn down a good opportunity for a great one.
Yeah, like I've turned down opportunities before with shoots, with castings, with agents, and look, as I said, I'm not Kendall Jenner. Like
yet.
And we've all got our own journeys, and sometimes the lines are a bit blurry in terms of what goal am I achieving today. But I would like to say that at this age now, I know myself a lot more than I ever have. I'm not scared to turn down something because it's not the right time or it just doesn't fit me of who I am today. I've done shoots before where I've felt like I've needed to and I've regretted them. And I've done castings before where I just think, oh, I just want that footage to go away. Like, yeah, there's things that I've done that for me, myself and I today don't fit who I am. So if I can make sure that a young girl, or when I have a daughter, has the balance and the patience and the self-discipline and understanding to be able to turn things down because they're either unsure, it's not the right time, or it doesn't fit what they want to achieve, then I would help them do that.
Amazing. Aisha, it's been absolutely phenomenal having you on today, mate. Really appreciate it. You're inspiring all of the young, aspiring models, actors, singers to do their thing. And not only that, but it's nice to catch up, mate.
I know, it's so nice. All of this from catching up in a nail salon.
Look at that. And we learned to speak Mandarin.
Yeah, we really did. And to be fair, I got a free therapy session out of it.
It's actually not free. I have sent her an invoice. Right. Thank you guys for watching Crying in the DMs. I will see you next week. Good night. God bless. And don't forget, be grateful for every day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a pillow fight?
No!